So hi everyone, how's it going? I have the great pleasure today to be here with a good friend, an attorney, Anthony Russo. Anthony, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this and bring this information to our viewers here. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
I am an attorney. I've been practicing 28 years. My business is primarily real estate. I do residential, commercial real estate transactions. Try to bring value to my clients and help them throughout the process, whatever they might be doing, whether it's buying, selling, or some other phase of real estate.
That's fantastic. And how long have you been doing this?
28 years.
28 years.
Yes.
You have your own practice?
I do.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So one of the things that I think is so important is really to just, talk a little bit about what's unique about your service and why people should choose to select you as an attorney to represent them when they're selling their home.
Well, I think what I bring to the table is that high level of customer service. In the process, it's always about what the client needs and getting the client to understand the process and what they need to accomplish to get to their goal. I try to hold their hand through that process, very communicative, making sure they're involved every step along the way, and try to tell them what's ahead so they can be prepared and be in the best position to sell on their terms when they want to close without as many obstacles, even though there are many obstacles in the process.
I've had clients telling me that you've been super responsive on many occasions,
Yes.
that you respond right away, and I
Thank
think
you.
that is absolutely something that's important, especially in a situation where people might be nervous, right? This is oftentimes one of their largest investments of their lifetime, and
Certainly.
they want to make sure that it gets treated well and that somebody's being responsive.
And I generally treat it that way, even though it's not my sale or my purchase. I put myself in their shoes and can appreciate their concerns and uneasiness and, as I said, worries along the process. So I make sure I try to give them as much information so to calm them and get them to their destination, as I say.
Great, great. So can any kind of attorney represent a home seller at closing?
Technically, yes, but you'd be surprised how many times things can go wrong. And the way I explain it is this way: you can go to a doctor, you can go to a heart doctor, or you can go to a foot doctor. The foot doctor might be able to perform some type of heart procedure on you, but the chances of success are probably a lot less than if you went to the heart doctor. And the same thing with an attorney. Most attorneys are capable of doing almost any type of law or process, including selling a home. But the area of specialty, the expertise, to know the little nuances in a contract, the ins and outs of a contract, and the pitfalls of title, the obstacles that come up, that being prepared and knowledgeable about that is invaluable in the process and helps me keep my clients ahead of the game and give them a little bit of an advantage to make sure they have the leverage to sell their home when they need to sell it and on the terms they need to sell.
That's fantastic. So now, can you tell me any tips that, especially in all the years of business that you've been in and all the home sellers that you've helped out, any tips that you've seen that really bring value to a home seller when they're selling their home?
I have seen sellers that do their own home inspection before they list their home. That generally gives them a heads up of what issues a home inspector may find so they can determine what issues, if any, they want to address. They may repair them before they list the house, or they may be prepared to deal with the buyer when they come up with these issues during their inspection. That's been probably the most helpful tip that I've seen implemented in the process of selling a home.
That's great.
Yep.
So we might have some sellers out there that are looking at this and saying, hey, I want to be the person to hold the mortgage or lend the money to the buyer. What's that process like? Is it much different than how banks are handled?
It is different. I have to tell you, it's very risky. In fact, you'll be surprised. I had a meeting with someone this morning who had a situation like that where they sold and held the mortgage to themselves. And even though you have protection, you have a lien against the property, you are at a disadvantage. If that buyer refuses to pay you while you do have legal protections, it's very cumbersome, it's very expensive, it's very risky. So it's not really the desired situation. It is preferable to, even if you had to take a little less on the sale, to allow that buyer to get traditional financing so that you don't have to take that risk. Because to me, it's really not the best risk to take.
And often the banks are more fitted to handle stuff like that.
Absolutely, well suited in the protection. That's their business in a sense. Whereas, if someone was to hold a mortgage on a piece of property and then not get paid, it would be very costly and difficult to recoup that money. even if you have all the legal protections.
Great, great. So one of the things that I love to do with all the people that I'm interviewing is really just kind of make this light and really show who you are. So what's your funniest YouTube video that you like to watch?
That's difficult. I have two kids that send videos constantly, so they're always entertaining me with the videos. I'm not a YouTuber myself, but I watch whatever they send me. And it's usually an animal video. My kids are animal kids, so there's always something entertaining about an animal doing something unique or odd that they send to me that makes me laugh.
That's fantastic. Well, hopefully you watch this on YouTube, at least this video.
Hopefully.
Guys, so very important tips that we just got here today. You know, once again, talking about that home inspection and how that might help in understanding what some of those things are that need to be fixed and potential buyers might be looking at to get the value of your home up. Also, you know, one very big takeaway is you can go to any attorney to help you in your selling, you know, with the legal matters and selling your home. However, you know, a real estate attorney is really going to be able to help you with those nuances, as Anthony had mentioned here today. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. God bless. Have a good day.